Hey guys, it's Brett for TopoRanger. How are y'all doing out there today? It is a beautiful day here in Lancaster County, and today we are at Donegal Springs, which basically consists of a spring, which I'm standing over right now, and also a historic church, which is up there. This church is built in 1733. It's a Presbyterian church. Apparently this was an Irish settlement here at one time. And what we're going to do today is we're going to probe this spring. We're going to see if we can't find anything, find out where the water's coming out, which I think is going to be right here. And then also we're going to kind of go underwater here, down the spring run, take some pictures, you know, the normal stuff. I've been here one time before. The spring pool is quite large, but you know, the flow out of here does not seem to be nearly as much as, say, a big spring in Cumberland County or a Lidditz Springs. And as you can see by the what I imagine is where the water comes out, it looks like they had whatever they had here is kind of broken down over the years. You can see some pieces of what once was, I guess, a place where maybe they did baptisms. They have this cool stonework here, though. You can see this little circle, a little semicircle right here, and then you have this nice wall. This heads up Donegal Creek, and Donegal Creek is a very popular fishing creek, and it goes from here. It heads out to the river. I think it joins up with Chickies Creek at some point, and then comes out there. I'm not sure about that, though. Don't quote me on that. Geology of the area, basically, what you got right here, this kind of light blue-gray-ish rock. This is the Beekmantown group, and that consists of various kinds of limestone, and there's also some dolomite layers in there. It's pretty thick. Quite a few caves and springs in this area are in this rock. As you can see right here, seems to be a pretty big joint, or maybe even perhaps a fault right here. I don't think it's a fault, although it could be a joint. But anyway, this is a really karsty rock, and I'm not surprised that this spring is here. I'm going to take you down there to where we can really see, get a better idea of what the flow is like, okay? Let's go check it out. There you go. See that big hunk of plant there going by? So this is the run here, and you can kind of start to see the flow. You can tell the speed by little leaves going by there. So there is quite a bit of water coming out of here. It doesn't deliver as much as a lidded springs or a big springs, but it's still a nice spring. It's big enough to head up a whole creek. From here, along the Donegal Creek, from what I've read from my researches, there are quite a few springs. None of them are quite as large as this one, but there are many along that path. And what we're going to do, after we get some underwater footage here and after we probe the spring head there, we're going to hike down the Donegal Creek, which is basically we just follow the spring run of Donegal Springs down that way over there by that goose there. And we're going to see if we can't find some of those other springs. There are a couple caves out here too that come out of springs that come out of caves. Now I don't know exactly where those are, but as we hike along the creek, I'm hoping that we find some. So that's what we're going to do afterwards. So for right now, why don't we get our underwater housing on the camera and let's go underwater and see what we can find. All right, well that was it. There were some fish in there. The main part of the spring where it looks like they built around a boil, it might have used to be a boil at one time, it just does not seem that vigorous. I mean, there really wasn't much flow at all coming out of there. The only thing we found was what looked to be underneath the stonework there. It looked like there was a pipe that basically went right into right underneath the outcrop of the Beekmantown limestone. So I'm guessing that's probably, there used to be a greater flow coming out of there, came out that pipe, and then they had that little, I guess it would be maybe like a little baptismal area there where you could kneel down and they would, dunk your head or, whatever they would do for that. And we stuck the camera in there, trying to find a way through the cracks there. Just couldn't seem to get through there, and there really wasn't that much flow anyway. So, but we also got some shots of the spring pool itself. There's a lot of muck. There's a lot of muck in that spring. They really should fish. It'd be nice if they fish some of that stuff out, clean it out a little bit. It'd be a little bit more attractive. But anyway, that was Donegal Springs. I'm actually kind of surprised at the lack of flow. I mean, if you look at this creek right here, you see that this really beautiful spring runner here. There's quite a bit of water. So I don't know. The question is really, where's all that water coming from? There were those a couple rocky areas there. A couple rocky areas there where I think quite a bit of the flow of that spring is coming up, is kind of diffusing through those rocks, basically right in the middle of the spring pool there, and that's probably where you're getting a lot of the flow from. And there wasn't anything visible there. I couldn't see any conduits. I'll look over the footage when I get home, but I didn't really see anything. So for the most part, I think the bulk of that water just kind of wells up through the rubble and collects and then comes out here, because as you can see, this is a nice sized stream here. This is the head of Donegal Creek. All right, so what we're going to do now, oh wait, hold on, there's another spring over there, girl. Let's go check this one out. All right, there we go. Got some angler geese. All right, so this is Donegal Creek. And here's oh wow. Look at this one. Holy. Huh. All right, this one actually looks like it's flowing more than the other one. You can see they join up right here. Here's Donegal Springs. And then here's this other one, and then you look at that one actually looks like it has more flow. Huh. Let's go follow this up here, see where it goes. That's a nice looking creek there. There's an old bridge. Yeah, that's a good looking stream there. I can see why people would want to fish here. All right, we're still following this this second spring we found. Goes up under an old bridge up here. Looks like it goes under the road. So we're here at that bridge, and I found some really cool pseudo formations, like the kind we found on Goat Road, except these are actually much more attractive because the calcite it's white. So it's coming down off this bridge here. This little footbridge that goes across the creek. And it's running through the limestone. It's picking up the calcium carbonate and then redepositing it as these soda straw formations. Now a lot of times you get these things and they're discolored because of what the water's flowing through, but these seem to be pretty white, which is kind of cool, which kind of gives the whole thing a very interesting look. Oh, this is really neat. We'll look at them this way. Oh yeah, there they are. Look at those suckers, huh? It's almost like you're in a cave. Pretty hard too. That's neat. All right, let's keep following this thing. See where it goes. I think it comes up over maybe by that house there. Okay, the second spring run that basically heads up Donegal Creek goes that way, and it runs under the road there. Basically comes up in somebody's backyard, I think. I think in the future I'm going to go to those houses and see if I can't get permission to go into their spring houses and take some pictures. But for right now, we're gonna stick to our original goal of following Donegal Creek downstream towards Susquehanna and see if we can't find any more of those numerous springs that have been described in the literature that feed into Donegal Creek and actually make it bigger and bigger as it gets closer to the river, as it flows over this broad plain of Beekmantown limestone with like rolling hills and what. There's not much relief here, but there is a huge area, a recharge area where the rain falls, it goes underground, and then it comes up in all these springs. And this is really like geologically, this is a good area for springs and also for caves. Although a lot of them, you don't quite get enough relief in this specific area to get a lot of air-filled caves. Although they're here, they're always lurking around. You just can't see them. Okay, so let's continue on. I'll pick it up when I find something good. All right. Look at this. Here's the confluence. Donegal Springs, coming out by the church. Over there, here's that secondary spring run. And you know what? I'm almost going to have to say this second one is actually bigger than Donegal Springs. But look at all this. Look at all these plants. All these plants, these aquatic plants here. Look at this. With this dead tree kind of hanging over here. This is a really cool spot. I'm beginning to understand why in the pagan world and in the Christian world and in pretty much every religion, I would imagine, springs and streams that flow out of springs are considered to be sacred sites, because there's something almost magical about the fact that the water just comes out of nowhere. And if you really think about it, it's not surprising, because if you didn't know anything about geology, you didn't know anything about how limestone can be dissolved and how caves form, underwater caves, above water caves, aquifers. If you don't know anything about all this stuff, and you're walking along and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere for no apparent reason, this huge boil of water just comes out of the ground, and then you have stuff like this, growing out of the water. I mean, this kind of stuff here, you don't get this kind of plant life in a regular stream to this extent. You get some algae and stuff, but you don't get this kind of stuff. And these plants are here because the water is cold, and it also is it's hard water. It's nutrient rich because it's coming right out of the limestone in this area. When you survey the entire world, by far the most numerous and the biggest springs are all karst springs. They're all coming out of dolomite, limestone, stuff, rocks like that. So all over the world, you have these springs and the life associated with it. Not only not only the plant life, but then you have all the animal life and that go with it. The trout, fish love this kind of water. Ask a fisherman, ask a fly fisherman, and they'll tell you, exactly why. And then you get villages and farms and mills all kind of springing up, being built around springs. These beautiful flowers here, right? So, and they used to have temples built where the springs would come up. Like I said, it's not surprising that they were considered to be sacred sites in ancient times, and dare I say now too. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, places like this, there is something kind of magical about it. All right, so here we are. This is now the combined flow, and we're going to follow this sucker downstream, see if we can't find any other springs. And I'm pretty sure we are going to find some as we follow this down. It looks like the walls are, somebody built a rock wall right there. Yeah, that might be another spring right there, actually. See how this is kind of separate right here? Something like somebody walled this off. I wouldn't be surprised if that's another spring right there coming up and joining the flow. Oh. Uh-oh. We got some trouble here. Looks like there's some geese up ahead. Geese don't like me. And I don't really like geese. They're beautiful birds, but... Oh no, they got little goslings too. See about 3 or 4 goslings. Baby geese. I hear you. Let's follow them downstream. Hopefully they don't get too mad. Dairy cows here. This big dairy farm probably right there. Alright. Coming up on these geese again. And looks like they have one keeping watch right there. He's right there. And I'm probably going to disturb. Oh, there's another one. Alright, I'm coming through. Uh-oh. Water's getting deep. Oh, jeez. Now it's getting mucky. There they all are. Look at them there. They're not happy. I gotta get up. Oh, it's getting kind of deep here. Not sure where to go. I'm gonna see if I can't go over here. Oh crap! Oh crap! Shit! Too deep! Too deep! All right, I can't go over there. The water's too deep. I'm gonna have to go over here. They're gonna be pissed. Sorry, guys. Trying to get through here. There they are. Looks like there's a mallard there too. All right, I ran into a boatload of geese back there, and they're just, you know, they're just noisy creatures. I think that's one of the things I don't like about them. Is just, you know, get within 100 feet of them. You know, they start, it's like, dude, just chill out, okay? So if you're trying to go somewhere, you know, you don't want to disturb anybody, all of a sudden, you know, you can't just walk through a bunch of geese and have them be quiet, you know? They're disturbing the peace as far as I'm concerned. So I turned around back there. I'm going to head back up to the church. And another thing about geese is that, you know, I could just walk through there, but there's a good chance that I would be attacked because, you know, as much as I don't like geese, I have to admire them. They're pretty tenacious when it comes to protecting their personal space, if you know what I mean. If I would have walked through there, I probably would have got attacked by several geese because they had little goslings there. They were probably just having them hide in a corner of the creek somewhere, and I probably would have been attacked. Now, it's not that I'm scared of a goose. I mean, I could probably defend myself against several geese, but they are very strong, and they can bite. And but more importantly, if I go down, if I have to take on, you know, 2 or 3 geese at one time, and they come after me, they might be able to push me down into the water, and then, you know, I have my car keys, got my phone, got my camera. I mean, you know, I could be out several $100s of gear here because, you know, because a goose, some geese decided, you know, that I was a threat to them. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of the geese. But you know what? I just don't want the hassle. So, like I said before, let's go. What's that building there? You got a little baby duck here. Look at him go. He's fast. Right? Where is he? Right there. See him? Look at him go. Let's see if we can try to get closer to him. I think that was his parents that flew away. Here, let's go over here. Nope. God, he's fast. Look at him. Look at him go. See him? Oh, that's going back there. He doesn't know where to go. I'm not going to bother him.